Sarasota resident and renowned artist Syd Solomon enjoyed an illustrious career before his death in 2004. But now new information about Solomon's life was recently uncovered in the archives right here on the Suncoast. Syd's son, Mike Solomon, and Sheila Moore, the owner of the Allen Gallup Contemporary Art Gallery in Sarasota, are here to tell us more about this. Mike, give us some background on your dad now. He was much decorated in World War II.
Yeah, he designed camouflage for the Second World War, particularly for the invasion of Normandy, and it was very crucial because he had to cover once they broke through the supplies and the troops from being bombed from the air. So it was aerial camouflage, which was his specialty. Yeah.
And he designed that as an artist.
As an artist, yeah. He went in. He was chosen to be in the 1st Camouflage Battalion by Homer St. Gaudens, who was a camouflage expert in World War I and was asked to be the same thing and guided all the camouflage in World War II for the United States.
That is amazing. And now there's talk that his art may be influenced by his military career?
Yeah, the paintings that start particularly in the 60s where he used spray paint and masking techniques to do layers, we realized had so much to do with his earlier camouflage work by covering things up and hiding them and concealing them.
What did you find in the archives here?
Well, I always knew that he, you know, growing up, I mean, we always knew that he did camouflage, but I didn't know anything about the details of it. And I moved back to Sarasota to organize my parents' archives, which is a huge archive that we hope to give to one of the institutions here in Florida eventually, once it's organized. And in that, I found the diagrams and all the details about his camouflage work. And once we looked at it and we had other art historians look at it, it was realized very quickly that his later techniques of maybe 20 years later had to do with his orientation of looking down and doing layers and hiding things and revealing things and things like that.
Fascinating. Yeah. So Sheila, you've got a show coming up. Tell me about the Syd Solomon show.
Yes, actually the Syd Solomon show, it's a one-person show and it opened on Friday. It is going to be going on until the 28th of January, and it showcases 24 fantastic paintings from abstract expressionist artist Syd Solomon.
So what different things will we see there?
Well, you will see, first of all, size-wise, you're going to see small paintings that are, and much larger ones, all from 1976 to 1990. From that era.
What are some of your favorites, Mike? You must have seen these many times.
There's so many paintings, it's hard to tell. And you know, the thing is that he painted in a way that was rather complex, and so what happens like a symphony or something like that is that when you hear it the first time you hear certain things, and but later something else occurs to you, and that's a lot like what his work is. It can live a long time because it doesn't reveal itself all at once.
That's great to have it in an exhibit like this, so you can go and spend time and see the different works. What's your favorite now?
Well, I think it's a painting called Day Start. And actually, I think there was one
of the pictures was Day Start?
Right, Day Start. And you know, and that's now, and maybe in about 15 days or so,
15 minutes
in the gallery, it might be another one. But,
how did your father, you know, go into? How did they discover that he would be a camouflage designer? Did he have art history?
He studied art in high school in Western Pennsylvania, lettering and you know, advertising kind of things. Because then that's how you did, you know, everything that we use cameras and digital for now. Then somebody had to draw it back then. So he studied that in high school, as well as fine art and painting and stuff like that. And so he was, you know, someone that was known in the communities for doing that. He worked in newspapers and things like that. And Homer St. Gaudens, the man that I mentioned, was a very prominent guy in Pennsylvania and in the world, and knew about my father. And Syd enlisted in July of '41, way before Pearl Harbor.
Oh.
Because, you know, being of Jewish background, there was
he wanted to help. He wanted to go do something.
Help, so, you know, he wanted to help, so they
Does
put him
each
in that.
painting have a meaning?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't think they have a meaning, but I think they have the meaning of sort of, someone was talking about existentialism before, you know, what you're doing with this life and what you're all about. And the abstract expressionists managed to turn that into, like, Syd's known for painting things that refer to nature here in Sarasota, but it's also an internal storm. It's a double.
An internal storm.
Yeah, it's an internal storm,
I
or an
wanna see
external,
that.
or it's an internal sunset, and it's you know, it's like this back and forth. That, you know, it's not literal, but it's
going to be
metaphorical.
great to see. You've got to see this for yourself. It's at the Alan Gallup Contemporary Art Gallery. It presents Syd Solomon through January 28th. For more information, you can go to the gallery website. Next, a preview of the Manatee Performing Arts Center's new musical.